So I'll start with this. Get this gum out of my mouth. So injury-wise, we're a little bit better. I don't know how far along we'll be till Wednesday, but I know everybody feels a little bit better. Now, how much, we'll see. Levi, about a week ago, had surgery on his back, so he's out for the season. So that's a little bit of a gut punch, but, and then other than that, everything for us is just moving forward, getting ready for Dallas, We're going to go back and do a lot of things we did in camp just to prepare. That was one of the things that came out of it. Be much more competitive in practice. We'll get back to some pads, some one-on-ones, things of that nature.
You had a chance to kind of reset, get some guys healthy like you talked about. I'm just curious, what was the message to the guys in the team meeting this morning coming out of the bye and now with 12 weeks straight trying to get this thing rolling?
Yeah, really, it's really no different than any other week as far as, man, if you want to have a chance to win a game, man, it's got to start on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And so we got to win the week, man. We got to be on point for each practice and prepare to win. So that's really what it is. We can't just say we're going to do it. So, man, it's all about our preparation and attack each day, get better each day, and feel like we came out of that day knowing that, man, we are prepared. And now let's get to Thursday and do the same thing. Third down, So that's really what it is. That's really what it is.
With Levi, what is the injury exactly? What did he need to fix, or what was going on?
Levi, is his back.
I mean, is it like disc thing, or is there something else? What's he?
No, it's in the back. It's a disc.
What is the long-term prognosis there? Is there concern this is going to be something that lingers his entire career, or should this give him a good chance to fix it and be back?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, this certainly helps. I mean, it's a last resort, but we felt like that was, he felt like that's where he needed to go with it, and then saw a number of doctors, and so we'll see where it goes.
On a bye week, do you spend like Sunday watching football, picking out things, gleaning things, looking at other teams?
No, I watched the game last night, but I spent my day looking at Dallas.
So you saw Dallas last night then?
I did.
Yeah.
But I watched,
Right.
their first 4 games, and then I watched the game last night.
That defense, as scary as it kind of looks?
It's a good defense. They play hard. Dan Quinn's done a good job out there. They're talented. They play hard. They're good at what they do. Multiple fronts, good disguises and coverage. And so, yeah, it's a good unit.
You've twice mentioned, I think, before the bye and now after the practice changes, going back to more individual competitive reps, maybe more pads. What have you learned along the way that made you switch from training camp to regular season, changing kind of your philosophy there, and why go back?
Yeah, I would say some of it, a lot of it was just with where we were at. We had a number of injuries, and so you dial back a number of things to feel like so you can get through what you need to get through in practice, but yet still prepare them. And I think when I really look back on it, it's, well, maybe at the expense of us losing some reps, and we're a young team, and you may put a strain on other groups because you're light in that area, but man, the rest of your team needs that work. And so I just feel like we got to get back to those things we were doing in camp, and we're not talking about going out there for 2.5 hours, but man, we got to get back to some of the competitiveness, the good on good, and just good on one-on-one work. We have to. So that was one area I looked at myself and said, we got to get back to those things. That's really who we've been and what we are.
So after doing a deeper dive on the defense over the last week, what areas of concern have popped up regarding why the defense has struggled the first 5 games?
Yeah, look, there's a number of things that go along there, and honestly, I don't want to get into what we're doing. We're changing a few things. But I don't want to get into that before we get to Dallas. So we looked at everything from, the front to our personnel to, even the back end. What do we do there? scheme, personnel, all of it. And so AG did a good job, deep dive. We sat down for a long time, he and his staff, and so we'll there'll be some things that we change up a little bit, but I feel good about it.
Beyond the defense, how do you just go out of this week feeling about the team, right? I mean, you take the record out of it, like you get a chance to get away from things, sit back and look at things a little bit. You're confident about where they're headed. Is it a matter of one or two tweaks? Are there some bigger issues that if you got to get fixed? How do you the big picture, I guess, view of things?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it because I feel like, once you get away from it and you look, you realize just how close you really are. But we can't just say that. We can't just say we're close. We can't just be close. And so I think that's why everything goes back to, we have to hone in on all the little things that we do and walk through, our urgency, the way we walk through, and then practice has got to be on point. And I think there's got to be such a focus on that day and quit worrying about, 2 days from now, the Sunday. It doesn't matter, man. All that matters is the work that you put in on that day. And look, we're going to give them a plan that they can digest, they can play fast. Very much like, for example, the defense, what we did at New England. We calmed some things down and let them go. So that'll still be kind of what we do there, but we won't be totally vanilla. We're not going to be sitting ducks. But yeah, I look, man, I'm not discouraged. I'm not happy with where we're at. I mean, I don't think anybody is, but when you really look at it, it's you're one or two plays away here, and all of a sudden you're sitting here with 3 wins, So, but the reality is we only have one, so that's where we're at.
There are guys like John Kaminsky, trending, Josh Pascal, maybe Jerry, some of those guys that you're hoping to get back sooner rather than later. Are any of those guys progressing towards Sunday?
Yeah, I would say we'll see. I know Kaminsky, it looks pretty promising for him. And Pascal had another good week last week. I mean, we only had a couple of practices, but he's put 2 weeks back to back that have been pretty good. So we'll see where he's at. Jerry continues to get better. So I would say all those guys are trending the right way.
What is the plan for Jerry when he gets back in terms of usage? I know mostly outside previously, but it seems like there's some slot potential there. Do you guys have a fit in mind for him once he's back?
Yeah, we talk a lot about Jerry. We all feel like he's got some flexibility in the coverage. The only thing is, as he continues to progress physically and gets his legs back under him, he's doing a good job. Man, he's all in, all out, and is just making sure that as he continues to progress, that we put him in a position where he can have success, and it doesn't mean that it wouldn't be slide. It's just, I mean, he wasn't able to go through practice in camp and run those, and so I think the first thing you'd be thinking is outside, is where he would be competing at. The good news about Jerry is, man, when he's physically ready, I mean, you can take him to the game because he's going to help you on special teams immediately. And so now you got him to the game, and now it's, okay, hey, you sprinkle him in outside, or maybe we do feel good at nickel, but look, he brings value to the roster at a minimum just to have him game day because he does so many things,
What does a Monty need to do to get back in the playing rotation?
Monty's going to get a chance to compete. I mean, I told him he's not out of the boat, so he's going to get a chance to compete this week and see where he can help us.
Or do it all to pressure of playing for a contract, sort of that being on the horizon?
I don't know about all that. I think it's just, every player's a little bit different at any given time, and there's always these circumstances that are sometimes, you have control over, sometimes maybe not. But look, Amani's a pro, and he had 2 good days back to back last week. Came out to work, and so I anticipate him coming out Wednesday ready to roll. And he's a competitor. So.
When you were doing your deep dive through this process, I know I kind of asked you about this in the fire of it, but the the injury situation. It kind of get away from you there for a stretch. Is there anything that came through your process that indicated why maybe you guys are dealing with the injuries at the level you are?
Yeah, no, looked, everything that we've got in regards to our numbers and what we look at. I mean, it was, there's nothing that I can say would pinpoint, there's what we're doing, what we're not doing. I know this, we're going to get more intensity and less volume, and so that's one little tweak that I'm hoping helps us a little bit. There again, we won't be out there for 2 hours, but yet, man, the time that we are out there, we should be flying around and see if that helps us a little bit.
I wanted to ask about Romeo Aquara. Is his timetable still set to be for him to play this season?
Yeah, that's a plan, and he is progressing. He's doing a good job. There again, the Achilles just happened at a different rate, but he's doing a good job, and you got no roams. I mean, he puts in the work now. So, but it's coming. It's just when he's ready, he'll be out there.
Just to be clear, no plans to bring him or Jameson or Jason back this week to practice. That didn't work so.
You asked JMO and who else, and Romeo?
And Kabinda, or any of those on track?
Yeah, I don't see any of those guys. They're all on track. I think Kabinda's coming in a hurry, but I don't know if I necessarily see him this week. Yep.